Welcome back to another video, guys. It's your boy Wraith Hoops. Today we're going to be talking about Omer Yurtseven and his recent production in the Utah Jazz's lineups. As always, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you're not already. Become a member to catch the videos earlier than everybody else, as we do this Jazz content thing every single day. Overall this season, Omer Yurtseven is only playing about 9 minutes a game, averaging 4.3 points to go along with 3 rebounds and half an assist a game, shooting 63.3% from the field. At 6'11" and 275 pounds listed, he's a more interesting prospect, particularly in this league, because you would expect him to be more of a back-to-basket lob threat who has the ability to be a shot blocker and just play quality minutes at that center position. With that being said, across the 17 games that the Jazz have had, he has participated in 10 of them. Now, overall across the season, he's averaging 9.1 points, shooting 63.3% from the field, 22% from the three-point line, 60% from the free throw line to go along with 3 rebounds, 0.5 assists, 0.3 blocks, and a little under 1 personal foul a game. Now, while that's cute and all, the simple fact of the matter is he hasn't played a significant amount of minutes in games that were super meaningful. And with that in mind, it's important to go ahead and give him praise for the most recent 2 games where we played against the New Orleans Pelicans, where he saw the floor for more than 20 minutes in both contests. Now, across the past 5 contests, and 4 of them, he's played 16 minutes or more. The one that he didn't was the first game of the 5-game stint against the Portland Trail Blazers when they won 115-99, where he only played in 1 minute, which drastically obviously would skew his numbers downwards. However, across the most recent 4 games, he's really put on a solid showing. Having shot 72.7% from the field and gone 2 of 3 from the free throw line and a blowout loss to the Lakers, he ended up having 18 points to go along with 6 rebounds and an assist. Against the Portland Trail Blazers in a loss 121-105, he ended up playing in 16 minutes, shooting 33% from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line to go along with 6 rebounds and assists and 3 points overall. Things really got a little bit more interesting and honestly consistent with what we can expect from him in the long term when we played the 2 games against the New Orleans Pelicans, because he played 27 minutes the first matchup and 22 in the most recent one. Now, obviously, the important thing about these 2 games is the fact that Walker Kessler was back in the lineup. However, Omer Yurtseven still started the game to give Walker time to really get his legs back up under him and not have too much of an offensive and defensive burden on himself. That being said, it provides the opportunity for both to be a very strong tandem that plays off of one another. Instead of having Walker Kessler off the court and relying on John Collins to run that center spot, you now have the opportunity to put Omer Yurtseven out there. Now, in the first matchup, when the Jazz won 105-100, he played 27 minutes, which is a season high to date, in which he shot 50% from the field and had 6 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 2 blocks along with a steal, and no personal fouls or turnovers to speak of. Now, this game has been a little bit more shaky that just passed, where he played 22 minutes, shot 50% from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, had 10 rebounds to go along with 7 points, 2 assists, 2 blocks, but he did, on the negative side of things, have 4 personal fouls and 2 turnovers. Now, what does this mean in the long term of his game? That essentially means that the Jazz have really found a shored up center that can back up Walker Kessler, and there's not a significant skill gap between the 2 of them. Obviously, Walker Kessler is more of a shot blocker than Omer Yurtseven is, but at the same time, Omer Yurtseven has that 3-point shot fluidity and the willingness to shoot the 3-pointer that Walker Kessler just simply hasn't reached the point of being able to comfortably do. On the same side of that coin, you also have to appreciate the fact that they both are very tall players. They're both really nimble on the defensive side of the ball, and they're both pretty good in screen and roll setups. With that being said, it's going to be reliant on Keyonte George and the rest of those guards to really get the most out of these 2 skilled bigs. When it comes to Omer Yurtseven, I expect that he will continue to play roughly 20 minutes a night, even once Walker Kessler steps back into the starting lineup, simply because he's been healthily productive in the minutes that he's played over the past few games, and we can expect that these are easily sustainable numbers for he himself. A big that can provide steady offense and very solid defense and rim protection is hard to come by in today's league, and it's a very sought after commodity when you also add into the account the extra 3-point shooting that he also has built into his game. Now, I did mention earlier that he only shot 22% from the field from 3-pointers. However, that's more so having to do with the fact that he shot literally almost none in the games that he's played. If you end up going 0 for 1 in several games and then you go 1 of 2 in the others, naturally your percentage is going to be pretty low simply because you haven't had a large enough sample size or a good enough rhythm in the minutes of games that you've played to really go ahead and get at those shot attempts in a comfortable manner. With that said, he's hitting really 0.2 out of the 0.9 threes that he's taking per game, which works out to that percentage, and he's going 1.9 of 3.0 as far as field goals go. Now, he's already participated in more games this season than he did last year when he played on the Miami Heat. With that in mind, with the Heat last year, he only played 9.2 minutes and he's already basically there with the 9.1 that he's played so far. And I expect him to be a regular in the rotation at this point, which could see him playing much more significant minutes than he's played in his first 2 seasons in the league. However, with that in mind and with his willingness to shoot the 3-point shot, I believe that there will always be a significant amount of minutes there on the court, whether it's with the Utah Jazz or any other roster. But I really like the fit that he has with the teammates on the roster at the moment, and I think that it can be a home for him going forward. Especially at the age of only 25, he fits roughly in as being a year younger than Lauri Markkanen and just a couple years older than the Ochai Agbajis of the world and the Walker Kesslers. With that in mind, you guys let me know what you think about Omer Yurtseven. Let me know if you think he's deserving of more minutes or if you think you'd prefer him play more so spot minutes going forward the rest of the season. And also let me know how healthy do you think Walker Kessler has to be before he ends up taking back the starting center role over Omer Yurtseven. Make sure to like the video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe if you're into Utah Jazz content or NBA content in general. We're on the road to 1K and we're really trying to get this channel monetized. If you're already subscribed, make sure you have those post notifications on and go ahead and become a member if you haven't already to get the videos earlier on in the day than anybody else. With that being said, it's been your boy Wraith Hoops. Thanks for tuning in this video. And as always, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you're on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.